What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So next up in my E3 2015 preview / prediction videos is Ubisoft. Now Ubisoft is a publisher that I myself have never really been the greatest fan of. Sure, I like them, I respect them. They've made some games that I consider to be some of my favorite games of all time for sure. But at the same time as well, I feel like my biggest criticism was always that their games are just very similar, and not too many people have always complained about that, but last year they did receive a lot of slack, mainly for the games that they brought out that simply weren't too polished. And of course you all know what I'm talking about here, specifically Assassin's Creed Unity. So Ubisoft simply has a lot to prove at this year's E3. Of course Watch Dogs is also one that I should quickly mention, because it simply didn't live up to the hype, even though I myself thought it was still a really good game. But hey, let's just get into it. I'm going to start off with the games that we know are going to be shown and pretty much talk about what we can expect to see here. So The Division is one that I know a lot of people are looking forward to. I myself not really too much. I feel like, yeah, it is probably going to be a really good game, but at the same time it's a third-person shooter taking place in New York with online elements, open world. I've kind of seen it. That's my biggest criticism with The Division, but at the same time, like I said, I don't want to bring the game down. I think it's going to be a good game if you look at it quality-wise. What I think we'll see here is simply another demo. The game is most likely coming out in the spring of 2016, I think has been almost confirmed now, and I think, yeah, we're just going to see more of the environments, what the game is going to be about, you know, how the whole teamwork co-op aspect works. And I think if they really do that well, the whole online part, then this game is going to end up being quite really good game. So next up is Rainbow Six Siege, the one that got announced last year at E3 but is actually already scheduled to come out this year. This is a game that I myself am actually looking forward to quite a bit, mainly because I simply like elimination type multiplayer game modes where, you know, you die, it's over, you have to wait till the next round, and it's really about teamwork and trying to stay alive. So I'm looking forward a lot to seeing more of Rainbow Six Siege. I did not play the alpha, and therefore my biggest concern at the moment, and the thing I want to kind of like know more about, but at the same time it's something that I simply, I have to play the game for to really find out about, and that is how well does the game play? Is this sort of like shooter gameplay satisfying and stuff? If that turns out to be the case, then I'm sure Rainbow Six Siege is going to be pretty awesome, and I'm definitely looking to get that one this year. Next up is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, a game that got announced, I think it was a month ago now already, and people have asked me for my opinion. I never made a video on it. I once again gotta be honest there, I don't want to sound like too negative about these games, but look, I've been a pretty big Assassin's Creed fan ever since AC2 came out. At least I was at that time, because Assassin's Creed 2 blew my mind. I absolutely thought it was an amazing game, one of the best games I played on the PlayStation 3, but when Ubisoft kind of started milking the franchise and came out with a new game every single year, it wasn't that I didn't think that the games were not good, because they certainly were. From AC2 to Brotherhood to 3 was I guess decent, and 4 was really good. I enjoyed 4 a lot, and Unity maybe, even though broken, was definitely a good game in itself, but it just kind of got so tiresome to me, playing the same sort of game every single year in, year out. The formula got just kind of tiresome to me myself, and therefore Syndicate, the setting is not too appealing to me. London looks great, but hey, it's kind of similar to Paris and to all the other European settings that we got in these games, and therefore consider me pretty much out for Syndicate. I don't think I'm going to be getting that game, because a lot is coming out this year that kind of makes me not really show that much interest in Syndicate itself, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think there's no way it's going to be as buggy as Unity was, because Ubisoft certainly now knows that you can't do that anymore, because fans certainly will sort of like stay away from the series after you get Syndicate to feel at the same time as well. So that's not happening. I just myself am not really too interested in the franchise anymore. Next up are the surprises. What is Ubisoft going to show here? Because the trend really has been for the past 3 years is that they will announce a new IP that is very exciting. For example, they announced Watch Dogs, The Division, Rainbow Six Siege 3 times in a row there as their sort of like final game that really blew people's minds. What do they have in store for us this year? There are a couple of games that I could think about, like Beyond Good and Evil 2. Are we finally going to see that happening? There's been a lot of rumors about it, and it's surely a game that a real hardcore following has been asking for years, but I'm not sure if the appeal is really still there, if like new gamers who are not too familiar with the franchise yet would really be interested in this one. So yeah, who knows? I'm not really particularly sure if Beyond Good and Evil 2 is going to be a thing. Of course they could come with another new IP. That's definitely something that's very likely, because Watch Dogs and The Division were. Maybe a new Rayman game. I loved Rayman Legends. I thought that game was one of the best I played on the PS4, so yeah, I really would want to see a new Rayman game, but at the same time, I am not really sure if Rayman Legends sold that well, and if Ubisoft really feels like they should make a new game in that series anytime soon. That's really a question for me. What are they going to do with Rayman? What is the future of that franchise going to be? Because I love Legends, but at the same time, I don't think the chances are really high we'll see another game like that anytime soon. And yeah, you know, another one I could think of is Watch Dogs 2, but hey, I mean, the reception to Watch Dogs 1 wasn't too great. I do know there's going to be a sequel, like that's pretty much a given at this point, but maybe it's too soon to announce it, even though it's probably coming out within 1 or 2 years. Yeah, they could announce it, but at the same time, I think Watch Dogs is still too fresh in everyone's mind, and they'll be like, oh yeah, the first game was so disappointing to a lot of people. So yeah, even though I really like that game, I thought it was one of the best games on the PS4, an open world game that I just had a lot of fun playing. I think if they announce it now, it's sort of like the reception to the original game is still too fresh in people's minds to you know, get very excited about this one. So yeah, it's going to be most likely a new IP, maybe Beyond Good and Evil 2 or Watch Dogs 2. That's kind of like my bet at the moment, but I think the new IP is pretty much you know, the most likely at this point. So with that being said, I of course want to know from you in the comments, what are you looking forward to from Ubisoft at E3? Which games in particular are you going to get, and do you want to see more footage of, and what do you think are going to be the big surprises in terms of games that we simply don't know about yet at this point? And then with that being said, thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned, because tomorrow I'll most likely be doing the Sony preview. It's going to be very exciting. And then yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and hope to see you again next time.